Today we're looking at Hawthorn's run home going into finals. Let's get into it. So in the last 7 games of the season, Hawthorn have to face the top 3 teams currently and Fremantle in this coming weekend, who are 1 game outside of third. The Hawks arguably have the toughest run home out of anyone in the competition, so let's take a closer look. Our next game coming up is Fremantle in Perth. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the year, and it's going to be one of our toughest games, and I think if we win this, we make finals. Simply for the fact that it's an 8-point game, so obviously Fremantle are 1 game outside of third, pretty much equal with 6th through 9th, and yeah, it's going to be tough over in Perth. But the good thing is we have 3 players ready to come back into the AFL side in Calcidir, Mitch Lewis and Jack Scrimshaw. I think we can expect to see Scrimshaw back indefinitely, and Calcidir hopefully. Just judging by the performance of the other tall forwards so far, I think Calcidir is ready to come back in after a 3-goal, 20 disposal performance in the VFL. I think Lewis could come back in, but I think we should wait off a few extra weeks. Bring him back against a lower quality side, like maybe a Carlton or a Melbourne, just to slowly ease him back into it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because I've seen a lot of people say Gunston is going to have a rest this week, which I think is really stupid, to be honest. And if one of our other tall forwards, Deer or Lewis, come back in, I'm assuming Ramsden's going to come out. But with Fremantle having 2 really good ruckmen, I think that's going to be a bit of an issue come selection time. Because if Freo play their cards right, they can rotate their ruckman and have a fresh guy in pretty much 100% of the game. And with Meek being our only real genuine ruckman, it's going to be real tough for him to compete the whole game without losing energy and slowing down. So I feel like Max Ramsden sort of needs to play this week simply because of that fact. Yes, Deer and Lewis probably are ready, but I think just judging by the situation and circumstances, I think they need to hold it for 1 more week just to give Meek a bit of a balance and a bit of a rest during the game. Because pairing a fresh ruckman at all times with the quality of their midfield, considering we have a few injuries and our midfielders really aren't up to par right now, and the fact it's over in Perth, we're going to have to bring our absolute A game and probably play the best game of our season so far. So yeah, it's going to be tough and it could get ugly early if we don't play our cards right. So when it comes to selection this week, I'm predicting Deer's going to come in, Lewis is going to stay in the VFL just until he's ready, absolutely 110%. So I feel like we're going to go with Chol, Gunston, Deer and Ramsden, and one of them is going to come off as the sub. I'm assuming between half-time and 3/4 time. It's probably going to be Deer or Ramsden. But yeah, this is most likely going to be our toughest game of the season so far, and yeah, hopefully we can get the job done. We definitely can if we bring our best game, but yeah, it will be tough, and if we win, it's not going to be by more than 2 goals. Then our next 2 after that is Port Adelaide and Tassie, and then Carlton. I think we smoke both these teams. I think we smash them by 10 goals each. First, Port Adelaide, after the Fremantle game, which is pretty much going to be a finals preview, we're going to be fired up. And considering Port and Hawthorn hate each other, yeah, we're going to have some incentive to really put our foot down in their throats. It'll be challenging, but obviously in the back half of the season, we're sort of in pre-finals mode, so it's time to really dig deep and start playing our best footy and really putting it together. And with Hawthorn having Carlton's first and second round pick in this year's draft, I think we're going to absolutely belt them and smash them by over 100 points just to lower their percentage, potentially giving us a top 5 pick if things fall our way. So there's a lot of incentive in this game, which is good considering they're most likely going to be a bottom 4 side. And hopefully, if we pray to the footy gods, Will Day and Mitch Lewis will both be back in against the Blues and ready to go come finals time. I think it's a perfect game to bring them back in, give Gunston a rest against the Blues, give Lewis his spot back, and yeah, go from there. Give him sort of a warm-up game against a lower quality side, and then go hard in our next 2 games, which are Adelaide and Collingwood. Adelaide being in Adelaide. Now, this is probably going to be our biggest challenge, other than Brisbane and Collingwood, who are obviously sitting at the top of the ladder. But Adelaide and Adelaide is going to be another finals preview. And say things don't fall our way and we have to play Adelaide in the finals away, it's going to be at this ground, and it's going to be a very similar situation. So I think like last season, the way Sam Mitchell sort of went week by week, you just got to win this game and then think about next week. Just think of 1 week at a time. I think this is a great practice for potentially playing an away game in the finals. Yes, it's definitely not going to be easy, but we're going to have to bring our A game, so we're going to be forced to perform, which is just going to make the team elevate in general. And with this being another 8-point game, like I said about the Fremantle game, yeah, there's big incentive to win this game and just, yeah, go deep into finals. So yeah, it's going to be tough. We're not going to win by more than 2 goals, but it's going to be a fun game and probably one of the games of the year. Now, looking at our last 3 games, Collingwood on a Thursday night, then Melbourne, and then Brisbane up in Brisbane. Yes, this is an extremely tough run home, but it's a great challenge to prepare us for finals. You'd rather have 3 of the top 4 teams on the way home rather than 3 of the bottom 4 teams, because it's just going to force us to perform and make us a better side come finals. And who knows, if things fall our way, we finish 4th, the Pies finish 1st, we're going to see them again in the first week of finals. So yeah, like I said before, great preparation, and yeah, should be another good game. Second last game of the season against Melbourne, I reckon we're smashing by 10 goals at least. I reckon we're going to put our foot down, get our percentage up to potentially make the top 4, and we'll probably give guys a rest such as Gunston, maybe even like an Amon and Impey or Sicily, guys who are sort of reaching that 30-year-old mark and sort of just need an extra little week off just to prepare them, keep them fresh for the last month of the season. Then last game of the season, Brisbane in Brisbane. Win, lose, look, it's going to determine a few ladder spots around the league, but yeah, if we can get it done against Brisbane in Brisbane to potentially make the top 4, yeah, look, we have every chance to win the grand final. And yeah, we could really win the grand final. This last 2 months is going to be the most exciting 2 months in Hawthorn's history outside previous years of finals. Like home and away season-wise, it's going to be one of the most exciting finishes. There's going to be good games. Worst case, we lose a few, we still make the 8. All we need to do is make the 8. Because we've beaten these guys before. We beat Collingwood in the grand final year. We beat Brisbane last season in their grand final year. And yeah, we're competitive with them. We match up well, especially against Collingwood. But Brisbane, we just got to do the 1%ers really and play our game. And if things fall our way, we win. We play our best game. They play their worst, for example. We will win this game. So yeah, it's just going to come down to who's better on the day. So my predictions for the end of the season, I feel like we can win between 4 and 5 games in our run home. If we beat Fremantle this weekend and then Adelaide in Adelaide, we have every chance to make the top 4 because they're 8-point games, don't forget. And yeah, if we stay injury-free, if we get Day and Lewis back and potentially Weddle, we don't know what's going on with him yet. We're probably going to give it a month or so, see how he goes. But we could definitely make the top 4. And even if we don't, we have every chance to win the flag. So yeah, I'm thinking we finish off with at least 15 wins. We're going to finish between 4th and 5th. And yeah, as long as we're healthy, we're playing our best footy, we have every chance to win the grand finals. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think. What do you think our final record's going to be at the end of the season? What do you think we're going to do in the finals? Yeah, comment down below. Interested to hear on what you guys have to say.